Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to a brand new episode of News You Can Use, your weekly go-to show to catch up on all that's important and relevant to you here in UAE. I'm your host Anurag Malhotra और आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं अपने चहेते रेडियो स्टेशन 106.2 Big FM पर. They say a positive attitude causes a chain reaction of positive thoughts, events and outcomes. It is a catalyst and it sparks extraordinary results. Through this show, we would like to be that catalyst to bring to you everything that is positive about the world around us and make your life lighter and better. The News You Can Use team works very hard every week to identify, select, collect and collate useful news and information at one place for your convenience. अगर आपको न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने का समय नहीं मिला, कोई बात नहीं, हम इस शो के जरिए हर थर्सडे को 12:30 बजे से 1:30 बजे तक सिर्फ 1 घंटे में आपसे हर वो जरूरी और उपयोगी खबरें और जानकारी शेयर करते हैं जिनका आपकी जिंदगी से ताल्लुक है. On subjects such as jobs, visas, real estate, insurance, transportation, travel, education, utilities, NRI and expat matters, community, technology, VAT, ityadi, ityadi. In short, such news and information, knowledge of which can help make your life a little easy and less stressful, thus adding to your comfort and happiness quotient. आजकल फेक न्यूज का बहुत बोलबाला है, इसीलिए we do our due diligence to select our news and information from various authentic and established sources. However, to be doubly sure, we recommend that you cross-check the news from their respective original sources before taking any action on these. In today's episode, I'll share important news and information on various subjects from the past few days. And also, as usual, I'll have another important personality, a subject expert on our show. Our guest today will share his knowledge and expertise on the subject of insurance, a very important yet often a most neglected subject. So to keep yourself updated and to find out who our guest today is, please keep it locked to 106.2 Big FM. It's time now for a short break, and on my return, it will be our first segment, Your Life Made Easy. न्यूज यू कैन यूज में आपका अभिनंदन है. मैं हूं अनुराग मल्होत्रा और अब समय है हमारी पहली सेगमेंट का, Your Life Made Easy.
Your Life Made Easy.
Let's begin with this important strategic announcement. Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai, approved the Dubai's Silk Road Strategy. The Dubai Silk Road Strategy comprises 9 initiatives and 33 projects that will see the collaboration of Emirates Airline, Dubai Airports, Dubai South, Dubai Free Zones Council, Dubai Maritime City Authority, Dubai Roads and Transport Authority, DP World, Dubai Municipality and Jebel Ali Free Zone. The strategy's initiatives cover various domains including government integration, e-commerce movement, linking value chains, air and logistics connectivity, among many more. Now visitors will have the opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of the UAE's governing traditions and values. Under the directives of the President His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan and the instructions of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, the Presidential Palace Complex in Abu Dhabi will house Qasr Al Watan, a new cultural landmark that will open its doors to the public on Monday, March 11th. The new smart radar system called Hadara, Be Careful, would be operational this year. New smart radars that can detect jaywalkers and drivers who don't stop at pedestrian crossings will be installed on Abu Dhabi roads soon. Major General Ali Khalfan Al-Dhaheri, Director of the Central Operations Sector at the Abu Dhabi Police, said the new smart radar system would be operational this year. Great use of technology by Diva for adding convenience to the lives of its customers. Diva has made it more convenient for residents to get their security deposits and credit refunds through exchange houses with Western Union agents instead of having to visit their headquarters or customer happiness centers. Through this service, Diva's customers can request security deposit and credit refunds from Diva's website or through the utilities application and choose Western Union as the payout option at no extra charge until May 31st, 2019. Customers can complete all their transactions anytime, anywhere, using the Diva's multiple smart channels without the need to visit the centers, saving their time and effort and making them happier. Customers can receive their funds from Western Union anywhere around the world as soon as they receive a security deposit notification from Diva. Fighting cancer is on the top of the agenda at the Dubai Health Conference to be held in Dubai on March 12th. Health authorities aim to reduce cancer-related deaths by 18% by 2021 as part of the UAE national agenda. Health leaders from across the Middle East will put the war against cancer at the top of the agenda at the Dubai summit next week, amidst a warning that the rate of cancer is set to double in the region in the next decade. Zulekha Hospital is offering free screening test for colorectal cancer, common in both men and women, until May 3rd. This simple test can be the difference between life and death. To register at Zulekha Hospital, call 600-52-442 or visit crc.zulekhahospital.com. अब ये खबरें एजुकेशन से जुड़ी हुई. The British Council is opening 3 computer-based Ielts test centers across the UAE this week to meet what it says is the growing demand for the English language test. Ielts, or International English Language Testing System, is an international standardized test of English language proficiency for non-native English language speakers. It is taken by around 3 million people worldwide. The new centers are located in Al Ain University, New Horizons Training Institute in Dubai, and University of Science and Technology in Abu Dhabi. These new centers are in addition to the existing centers in American University of Sharjah and the Exam Preparation and Testing House in Dubai. Gamification of the classroom to help digital natives. The gamification of learning is likely to be one of the next big trends for educational technology as schools have begun to diversify the curriculum in an attempt to inspire pupils bored with traditional textbooks. For children who are digital natives, technology is a daily part of their lives outside school, and gamification combines elements such as scoring points or winning a prize with educational tasks as a means to engage pupils. Studies have found that gamification can lead to positive changes in pupils' behavior and keeps them motivated. The method has been applied in UAE schools already. Continuing with the use of technology, a patch the size of a business card will help prevent skyscraper fires in Dubai. The small sticker, which costs only 11 dirhams, could save lives and prevent millions of dirhams in damage when it is introduced in UAE next year. This nanotechnology works by reacting to a spark or a flame, releasing an extinguishing agent that will put out a fire before a blaze can spread. It's now time for me to slip into a short break, but you keep it locked as coming up will be more useful news and information in this segment. Sunte rahiye 106.2 Big FM. You are with me, Anurag Malhotra, and you're listening to Your Life Made Easy.
Your Life Made Easy.
Now for some news on the road transportation sector across different Emirates. The RTA has unveiled a new hybrid Abra at this year's ongoing Dubai International Boat Show. The event provides a platform for the RTA to exhibit its key marine transport projects, highlighted by the new hybrid Abra, which reflects the RTA's vision of revamping marine transit services and meeting the needs of the passengers in keeping abreast of the latest industry trends in operating systems and the manufacturing of environment-friendly engines. A free bus service has been launched in Abu Dhabi's Al Makta area. The services are scheduled with a 15-minute interval during peak hours and every 30 minutes on regular hours. The Al Makta service has 2 routes. One is from Al Khor Street to the Department of Transport headquarters towards the Cooperative Society supermarket, then to a bus stop on Road 22 in Al Makta and returning to Al Khor Street to Department of Transport. Sharjah municipality recently announced that they were introducing smart parking for people of determination. Artificial intelligence will be used to help people of determination to get out of their vehicle without request, as a sensor indicates the vehicle's presence in the space and calls for assistance. There will also be an audio-visual alert to call for assistance. A pilot project will be introduced to parking bays outside a health clinic in Al Nasriya, with the view to taking the scheme emirate-wide. Signs will be installed to prohibit misuse of the parking spaces by others. Now for some news related to law. A new regulation unifies UAE civil courts. the UAE Cabinet has released a resolution that introduces a number of amendments to the Civil Procedure Code, which aim to streamline operations and improve judicial services. The amendments include the unification of procedures in all civil courts across the UAE, and it comes with the necessary flexibility to implement court decisions in accordance with the requirements of each judicial body. The regulation also maps out electronic registration procedures and the steps involved in issuing verdicts. Now one can learn the Islamic law for free through the smart platform recently launched by Dar Al Bair Society, a charity organization based in Dubai. The Al Bair e-learning platform offers short, intensive and original courses on the Sharia, promoting values of tolerance, compassion and all other principles. This is open to all for learning, including anybody from anywhere across the globe. Lessons are available in English and Arabic, sourced directly from the Quran and the Sunnah. And in the end of this segment, some good news for all our listeners. To mark the year of tolerance, automobile companies to supermarkets and hypermarkets in the UAE will offer free services and discounts. Nearly 650 outlets have agreed to offer 50% discounts on 5,000 products throughout the month of March. This year's event has a special significance in light of the declaration of 2019 as the Year of Tolerance in the UAE. Representatives of automobile firms said they are offering various services such as car checkups, maintenance and car wash for free and discounts on labor and parts for certain services. Representatives of two retail groups, Lulu and Union Co-op, will be fixing the prices of more than 100 commodities for a year throughout their outlets, apart from offering discounts on various other products at selected outlets. And for those of you interested in the glitter of gold and jewelry, gold prices continue to fall persistently, posting its biggest weekly decline since November 2018 last week. Looks like it's a great time to buy gold and jewelry as prices of the yellow metal continue to decline. Analysts forecast that the prices will remain under pressure in the near future, but will pick up in the latter part of the year. It's now time for a short break, and on my return, it will be time for Views You May Use, our interview segment, where I'll be in conversation with a special guest today, the CEO of Nexus Insurance Brokers, Mr. TARUN KHANNA, who will share his knowledge and expertise on the subject of insurance and its importance in our lives. So stay on course and keep it tuned to 106.2 Big FM.
Views You May Use.
Welcome to News You May Use. I'm Anurag Malhotra and you're listening to me on 106.2 Big FM. There is this interesting saying, needing insurance is like needing a parachute. If it wasn't there the first time, chances are you won't be needing it again. My special guest today on the show is Mr. TARUN KHANNA, CEO Nexus Insurance Brokers, who were named the Broker of the Year at the prestigious Middle East Insurance Industry Awards in Dubai in 2017 and are also winners of the MENA Insurance Review Insurance Awards 2019 with an overall total of 22 industry awards. I'll be talking to Mr. TARUN KHANNA on the very important, yet often most neglected subject of insurance. A very warm welcome to you, Tarun.
Thank you, Anurag. Good to be here.
Tarun, for starters, please tell us briefly about the Nexus Group, its activities, and how long have they been in the business of insurance? And also, how long have you been associated with them?
Sure, thank you. Well, Nexus Group has been around since 2006. Previous to that, we used to be the distribution arm. We were the distribution business of Zurich. So we were part of Zurich Life. And in 2006, the business was effectively separated from Zurich Life, and we created a new company called Nexus Group. Nexus Group was founded by our chairman, Mahmoud Najumi. So we've been around as an independent company for 13 years, but actually our pedigree goes back a lot longer than that, because prior to Zurich Life, we used to be a part of Eagle Star Insurance, which was acquired by Zurich Life in the late 1990s. Nexus Group today is spread across the Middle East. We are in Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, which includes Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And We're insurance people, so we're brokers. We have approximately 380 advisors spread across the Middle East, and we focus on selling life and savings products, all lines of general insurance, group employee benefits, group life, group medical, and that is essentially what we do.
Great. And about how long have you been associated with the group?
Well, I joined the group in early 2007, and so I've been there approximately 12 years.
Oh, that's a long stint, and I'm sure by now you understand this market and the adjoining markets very well.
Well, I'm learning every day, but it's been a great journey, and we've had a lot of fun.
Tarun, I understand according to a recent GCC insurance report, the insurance sector in the UAE and Oman is anticipated to grow at the fastest annualized average pace of, say, about 12.1%, followed by Saudi Arabia at 10.5%. What do you attribute this to?
Well, I don't know where the stats have come from in terms of the source. I think this is more of an expectation in terms of the growth rate. Historically, the growth rate for the insurance sector, I would say prior to 2015, has been pretty good, mid to high single digits on average, going back 10 years, 15 years. So I think that as we are coming out of kind of this lull where we've had this low growth period for the past few years, we're going to be playing a little more catch up. And I think some of this also relates to regulatory changes where they're making medical insurance mandatory in certain parts of the Middle East. We started with the UAE a few years ago. Now it's happening in other parts of the Middle East. So that's going to help insurance penetration as well.
But do you foresee an impetus in the growth of insurance business ahead of Expo 2020?
I think you will see an acceleration in the growth rate. And the reason is you're seeing more companies come here and invest in the region, especially as relates to the Expo. So that's going to have its own requirements. If you look around Dubai and the UAE in general, there's a lot of development that's taking place. A lot of new projects are coming on board. So I think that those projects are also going to require all kinds of insurance coverage. And that's one of the key driving elements.
Moving from the macroeconomics of insurance, let's now talk about the micros. Different types of insurance for different types of consumers. So what kind of insurance products does Nexus Insurance brokers offer to the residents of UAE?
Our main focus historically has been the life and savings business. If you look back in history, this was really the bread and butter of the company. Once we separated from Zurich Life and became an independent company, we actually diversified into all other lines of insurance. So that includes medical, car, travel, group medical, group life, buildings insurance, so on and so forth. So effectively, we're in all lines of insurance. We're a composite insurance broker now, and probably our fastest growing businesses are really the group businesses, which is, the group medical, group life, where we cater to SMEs and larger organizations.
So a lot of B2B.
Exactly. But in summary, we cater to all elements of society. So whether it's individuals or corporates, SMEs, large organizations, we do a bit of everything.
Quick question here, and this is what I see with most of us. Why is it that only when insurance is mandatory is that we are most likely to take it? And the example is automobile insurance. But the other insurances, like life insurance and critical illness, etc., we always hesitate. What do you think you can attribute this mindset to?
Well, I think this is a very important point, and I think this goes back to, how is insurance sold in the market? And I guess the bottom line is that, look, insurance has to be sold. Insurance is generally not bought. And we see this on the life side more so than in all the other elements of the business, where, it's not something that you just put online and people are going to come to your website and start buying life insurance. I think it requires education. People over time get smarter. They need to reassess the risks of driving a car without insurance or, living their lives without medical cover. And in today's world, that's very risky if you don't have insurance, because things, sicknesses can be very expensive to cure. God forbid you have an accident on the highway, there can be a lot of negative implications from that, and it can be very expensive for you as well as the other parties involved. So I think insurance has become a very important part of everyone's lives. I think you're right. I mean, it's not something where you wake up in the morning and say, look, I need to go, I'm going out and I'm going to go buy insurance. I think this is where the role of our advisors comes into play, where we have 380 advisors, and our advisors go out and educate people, individuals and businesses, day in and day out as to why they need insurances to cover all their risks.
Yep, I think you've summed it up very well. Tarun, there are a lot of interesting quotes on insurance, just making it a little light, signifying its importance in one's life. And I would like your expert comments on the following quote I recently came across. And this one is about car insurance. We were talking about car insurance. The problem with car insurance is that you never know how bad your policy is until you're involved in a car crash. At that point, enlightenment begins. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think you're right. I mean, car insurance is very important, and you have many different kinds of car insurance too. The bulk of the products that we sell on the car insurance side are comprehensive insurance, but people do buy only third-party insurance.
Right.
And this is where the problems come, because third-party is generally much cheaper. You know, the problem happens is when you get into a serious wreck, your car is not insured, but you're insured the third party. So what happens to the loss that you've incurred, you know, and I think this is why we're seeing now more and more people are moving towards comprehensive insurance, and that protects you. And even in the comprehensive insurance, you have an element of personal accident cover.
Right.
So if you tick that box and you pay a little extra, which may be a few hundred dirhams, you have up to 200,000 dirhams of personal accident cover as an example. Right. And certain policies you go even higher. And I think this is really important too, because this protects the driver and it protects the passengers as well. Right. So the market is changing, and we are seeing more and more people adopt comprehensive cover over time, and I think that's good news for society.
यहाँ हमें लेना होगा एक छोटा सा ब्रेक. मेरी कॉन्वर्सेशन जारी रहेगी with Mr. Tarun Khanna, CEO, Nexus Insurance Brokers, after this break.
Views you may use.
Welcome back. You're listening to Views You May Use, and my guest today is Mr. Tarun Khanna, CEO, Nexus Insurance Brokers, who's telling us a lot of important and useful things on this subject called insurance. Another very interesting quote, and this time this is on life insurance. They say life insurance, it's better to be 5 years too early for life insurance than 5 minutes too late. What's your take on this?
Well, I agree with that. And I think, personally, we always encourage people to get life insurance early in their life, because you're young, you're healthy, and your premiums are going to be low.
Right.
You know, most people wait too long, and then the insurance gets more expensive. So if you take it early in life, you know, the premiums are lower, you're already covered, and your family is protected, and you can always increase the amount of cover over time. You know, and we have many ways of doing that. So I would say that life insurance, especially in this part of the world, is very important, because you also have the legal system that comes into play.
Right.
As in Sharia law. That's why it's important for every family to have an element of life cover which goes outside of Sharia law, and it actually protects your family.
I understand Nexus has a very good life insurance product. I think it's called Your Life.
That's correct.
Yeah. Please tell us something about the uniqueness of this Nexus offering.
Sure. Your Life is a product that we launched with Zurich Life. So we worked with Zurich Life. They created the product. It's exclusive to Nexus, and it's a product that we sell through our website. Now, it only gives you cover of up to $80,000. But the good thing about this product is the ease of use, as in you go on the website and you answer 3 questions and you can be covered almost immediately, and you don't require medical. It doesn't require any underwriting. And so if you're going off on a trip, and hopefully you're doing this for the long term, but you know, you can get your life cover put in place fairly quickly. $80,000 is not a huge amount of money, but for a lot of families, it just gives you that added element of protection. And I think that what we also find is that it builds more awareness of life insurance in society.
Right. And taking a cue from that, since we're talking about Nexus and this unique product from Nexus, how does Nexus stand out from its competition in the market?
Well, I think we've got a long-term pedigree in this market.
Right.
And, you know, as you pointed out, we've won numerous accolades and awards over the last 12 years as an independent company. We've been consistently voted as the #1 personal lines broker in the Middle East.
Right.
I believe what differentiates us is, for one, we're the leader in the life and savings business across the whole Middle East in terms of volume.
How much of technology have you adapted to keep in pace with the world we live in today, which is so much of a digital world?
I think that's a great question. So you can see that, we've already put certain products online, such as Your Life. But outside of this, we continually work on technological developments to help our servicing option, as in terms of dealing with clients. So we have a client portal. Clients can log in, they can check all their policies, see what's coming due, what payments are due, etc., etc. We've invested in a lot of technology for our own internal usage for our advisors. And over time, I think this is only going to get enhanced. And I think servicing is very important, and getting things done, fairly quickly for clients, whether it relates to claims, things like that.
Right.
This is where, it's very helpful.
Right. I understand that the UAE Insurance Authority, in order to make insurance more accessible to the lowest income group in UAE, they plan to limit the fees charged, along with better disclosures in a bid to protect the policyholders, including stipulating a free look period. I guess they're trying to evolve regulation to get better customer outcomes. What are your thoughts on this, and how will this benefit the insurer as well as the insured?
Well, I think some aspects of what they've proposed is definitely positive for the market. The free look period is already there for many providers and many products, so that already exists. I think the insurance authority is also talking about licensing of individual advisors, which I view very positively. I think that's great for the market. And we at Nexus have already been down this path. And so, we have several hundred people who are now at level 3 CII, if not higher, which is great. We also are going to be looking at individual registration of advisors. So the insurance authority is talking about potentially tracking all advisors in the market, and if there's any specific complaints, they will be logged against that advisor. I think this is probably good news as well.
And at the end, what financial advice would you give to the people in this region, specifically to the residents of UAE?
Well, I would advise them that, saving is very important. And I would tell them, stop spending, start saving first. And once you save, then you can start thinking about spending. But I personally feel that people need to save more. They need to protect their families. If you look at the statistics in the Middle East, and if you look at the statistics in the UAE, we have a lot of underinsurance. If you look at our insurance density and our insurance penetration, the stats are woefully low compared to international standards, what you see in the UK or Singapore or the United States or other developed markets. And, the Middle East to me is not an emerging market. I mean, these are fairly developed markets, and they're fairly advanced. So I personally think we could be seeing a lot more savings and a lot more protection here.
But do you attribute this to lack of awareness?
Well, I think the awareness is building, and I think this will change over time. We are seeing the stats starting to improve over time, but I think the awareness definitely helps.
Well, thank you so much, Tarun, for coming to our studio, sharing a wealth of knowledge with our listeners, and I'm sure listeners will ensure that they benefit from the views shared by you on insurance.
Thank you, Anurag. It's good to be here.
My pleasure. Welcome back. I'm Anurag Malhotra, and now it's time for a special segment specifically for our South Asian expat listeners.
Expat Roundup.
Goair has launched 4 new flights between Canoed International Airport and Abu Dhabi International Airport, connecting the two cities with flights operating every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. The CEO of Abu Dhabi Airport said, India is a key travel market for Abu Dhabi International Airport, and we are always eager to strengthen our connectivity to the Indian subcontinent, enhancing further our services extended to our dear customers. Many small investors have suffered in India by placing their funds in schemes of companies offering a high rate of interest. Many promoters of such schemes are untraceable. The Indian government passed a law to ban unregulated deposit schemes. Under the law, a comprehensive mechanism is provided to prohibit taking of deposits by unregulated entities. Furthermore, the law makes it mandatory to award compensation to depositors who have suffered loss on their investments. It is expected that the state governments will also come up with their own legislation to prevent illegal deposits being taken. There is some great news for a lot of expats in UAE who are employed in the private sector. The UAE cabinet approves national holidays for the year 2019 and 2020 and grants the private sector the same number of holidays as the public sector. The decree aims at achieving a balance between the two sectors and supporting the national economy. While India and Pakistan have been locking horns on the borders, an Indian man and a Pakistani woman have tied the knot in Dubai following 6 years of love that knows no bounds. Ryan, a Gujarati from Mumbai, and Habiba from Karachi got married on February 23rd. Giving up the initial resistance of both families, they united for their wedding in Dubai at a time when the hostilities between the two neighboring countries reached the flashpoint. The escalating tension between the arch rivals did not deter the determination of the couple, who had chosen to never give up on each other despite 6 long years of fights, sacrifices, and difficult times. On that harmonious note, it's time for a short break, और मेरी वापसी पर it will be a last segment of today's show, Between Us. तो सुनते रहिए 106.2 Big FM. Welcome back. You're listening to News You Can Use Season 2 with me, Anurag Malhotra, exclusively on 106.2 Big FM.
Between Us.
Let's begin with some light-hearted news that may amuse. Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Crown Prince of Dubai, introduced his pet lion, Moochie, to the world via an incredible video on Instagram recently. While we cannot show you this interesting video on radio, but you can certainly look it up. It shows the Crown Prince of Dubai lying on the ground with the white-maned animal while also feeding him chunks of red meat. Sheikh Hamdan is known to be extremely fond of animals and has previously posted pictures of himself on social media with horses, camels, falcons and giraffes. And now for another piece of amusing news which comes from England. A 29-year-old woman in England has grabbed the most envious job offer that requires her to watch TV all day long for a £35,000 package. Berkinshaw came to know about the competition around the same time she quit her full-time job at a fashion brand for a better work-life balance. She participated in the competition with a hilarious poetic video and beat 1,000 other people to claim this prized assignment. आज के शो का समय समाप्त हो रहा है, पर हमारी मुलाकात फिर होगी अगले हफ्ते आज ही के दिन और आज ही के समय. So don't forget to tune in for your weekly dose of news you can use every Thursday 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Repeat on Saturday at the same time. Meanwhile, please keep writing into us and sharing your comments and suggestions on how we can make this show even better for you. You can reach us on all the Big FM social media handles. Just type NYCU and your comments and suggestions. आप अपना मैसेज हमें WhatsApp भी कर सकते हैं on 054-309-1062. And for those of you who are not on the road during the broadcast of the show, you don't need to miss the show. All you need to do is to download the 106.2 Big FM app and listen to the show from the comfort of your home or office. So there are ways for you to remain connected and keep abreast of useful and relevant information. Time for me to sign off now with this positive quote. There are 2 days in the week about which and upon which I never worry. Yesterday and tomorrow. You too, keep enjoying the present, keep laughing, keep smiling, and don't worry. Be happy.